Yeah, it goes late nights.
Guys, it's the Ocean Flight 111 heading straight to full potential with Zero Delays. Welcome back to another episode of the One Step at a Time podcast. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling a bit nervous about doing this one. Not like doing the episode and like the concept and content of the episode. Just more doing one myself again. Because I guess I haven't actually done a podcast by myself in, wow, maybe like 3 or 4 months by myself. Because I've had guests on and I took that little intermission. Martin, where did you go? Martin, where did you go? Whoa. Guys, I took a break. A long extended break, I must say. A bit too long, but yeah, I took a break. So yeah, I guess I'm just going to fill everyone in on where I've been for the last little while. And what I've been up to, as well as our theme of the podcast. So this podcast, I'm going to be chatting about addiction. My introduction to addiction, I guess, and my dealings with it, and how I view it, I guess, and how it's affected me throughout the years, and how it's affected other people I know throughout the years, I guess. It's not an easy subject, addiction, and, you know, I might be guys, this one might be deep like the Titanic. So just a heads up there, guys. You're going throughout your day and it's sunny, and then you hear Martin's podcast and it's talking about addiction. I know, it's not going to be too deep, but we will touch on a few things. But yeah, guys, I'm just going to bring you into the world of the Ocean Flight 111 heading straight to full potential with Zero Delays. So yeah, it's been a crazy couple of months. I ain't even going to lie to you. It's been a crazy couple of months. I got to remember to look into the camera when I'm recording and whatnot, as you know, it's important for the content. But yeah, damn, I suppose, you know, I took a little break. I did the 10 episodes of season 1. Over the moon with how season 1 went, to be quite honest with you, like, because doing a podcast is something I wanted to do for quite a long time. Because after all, it's having a conversation, you know, it's just getting to have a chat, a friendly chat, and guys, I love chatting. Like, when I be out in my days, like, I'd be just seeing people and like, I just love meeting random people and just making them smile and like having like little conversations and learning something new. Like, oh, it's great. We'll get into that anyways in a little bit, but yeah. So where have I been for the last while? I guess for the last while I've been focusing, the last 3 or 4 months I've been focusing a lot on our business Exhale, which is an agency. So that's been going really well. Shout out all the lads for that. Shout out Double P Master, Taj Master 7000, Shane Lee Hennessy, The Fox O Matthew, Josh Roxby, Ark Rebek. Shout out the lads. So that's been going really well. So that's kind of predominantly been my focus for the last 3 months or so. So some great things happening there. We've been really making strides with the company now. It's truly remarkable and exciting. Because we've come a long way in our journey since, wowzers, over 4 years now. It's a toddler. It's past a toddler. It's a kid now. So that's been going tremendous. And so I've been putting a lot of my resources in terms of time and energy and just time throughout the day and whatnot into that and mental space and being focused on that. And we're beginning to reap some great benefits from it. And very grateful to be surrounded by such great people and be inspired by such great people and whatnot around me. Because that's really what it is, like, just being inspired about great people around you and building something with your friends. So that's been going really well. I've had a funky time, guys. I haven't been jogging. So yeah, I haven't been jogging. I've only jogged once, guys, in the last 5 months, if I'm honest. I have an injury. It's called patellotendinitis, which I'm recovering from. I got my insoles at the moment, which are helping, and I'm trying to keep my exercises good with the goal of returning soon and doing the Greece Marathon. Guys, Greece Marathon history, dopamine victory. Yeah, wow. So yeah, I've been dealing with that injury for like the last 5 months, which has been frustrating. Take responsibility. I should have recovered by now, but definitely I was doing exercises then that would make it worse. I'd go back to the physio, shout out my physio column, legendary. And then I wouldn't do the right exercise, and yeah, I'd take full responsibility. Like, guys, it's taught me a lot, this injury. It's taught me so much. It's such a, first of all, it's only a small injury, and I'm very grateful that's only a small injury. And it's not something big, but definitely has been frustrating. Like, it's only a soft tissue injury from what I'm aware of, but a lot of basketball players and joggers get it. So that's definitely been frustrating, and definitely feeling like I've lost a part of myself the last couple of months. So that's been unfortunate, because I'm not going to repeat myself, but guys, I fucking love jogging. It's an essential part of my life since January 2020. Shout out Ben, wherever you are, inspired me. So yeah, haven't been jogging now. Again, I have my insoles because I've dropped arch, so I'm wearing them now and doing my exercises again. With all going well of returning to jogging. Now, saying that, I have adapted. Like, I was working out, so I was working out in my indoor gym, and I was doing a little bit of gym, and I've been getting my morning walks in. And my morning walks, don't get me wrong, the morning walks have been beautiful. I've been really hitting that there for the last, let's see how long. Last 2 weeks, I've been really, really, really hitting them in and becoming really consistent with my walks. And guys, just waking up in the morning, like, it's like, I can't stress enough, like, it doesn't have to be jogging or gym, but you just got to get outside. You just got to get outside. Like, and do anything outside. You just got to be raining, snowing, cold, wet. Like, and it's hard, It's easier when you're jogging and it's a rainy, stormy morning out to, like, just go outside and go, because, I do love that. So I guess I have to stick some more water because I'm becoming a little bit dehydrated. Sorry, got a little dehydrated real quick. Got a little hot. But you really just got to get outside that first thing in the morning. That sunlight, even if the sunlight's missing, and be one with nature, or just walk, gym, tennis, basketball, run, anything. And just get that sunlight, get that oxygen, get that beautiful fresh air into the body and into the mind and into the soul. It's pivotal. It really is pivotal, guys. It's pivotal to a great day, and everything, your sleep patterns, your getting out in that morning is so important. So if you're able in body and mind to do that, I recommend that. But so I've been staying consistent, getting that morning walk in the morning. And as I say, it's easier when you're jogging to just get out and run in a storm or when it's raining. It's not so easy to walk around in the rain, but I have been doing that no matter what in the morning. I've been really trying to stick with that. And it just makes you feel so good. It really does. And I've been having great thoughts too. I've been walking on my jog and just thinking about life and thinking about all the bad times and all the good times and where I'm at as a person and what's to come around the corner and things I may be doing wrong and have done wrong and try to get better at them and whatnot. It's it's not easy, guys. It's not easy when you're trying to, like, get better all the time, like, and improve as a person and improve in what you're giving, like, the world and the people around you and what you're giving yourself, not even other people, the world, but like what you're giving back to yourself and improving on that, because that's the biggest thing. Like, if you don't improve that, then you can't improve anything. Oh man, Mike had this great line. He was like, I was trying to improve you before I tried to improve me. No, what's the line? I was trying to change you before I changed me. I thought that really hit home, like, because I think I'm guilty of that sometimes. I think I'm guilty of, man, I could really help that person and maybe change the way they look at something. But instead, learning, I have to do that for me first. And yeah, that's been a big one, really, because I used to really suffer from, if I found something good or if I discovered something, I'd run and tell somebody. I'd be like, guys, you got to check this out. It's like, I found gold. I'll give you a metaphor. It's like I'd find gold, and instead of seeing the gold and taking some gold for myself, I found the gold. Let me take some gold for myself and benefit me on my journey. I'd run and tell everyone. And it's like, everyone would take the gold, and then I'd either forget to take gold or I wouldn't take it. And I think it was like almost in my mind or subconscious, like, oh, these people deserve it, but maybe I don't deserve it. So I've been really learning on that. And that's, I guess, a metaphor for just wisdom or opportunities, taking opportunities myself, being proud to take them myself. And if other people get inspired by it, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, but you got to do it yourself first. And that's been a really big one, guys. So thinking things like that on my jog, and sorry, not my jog, forced to have it there, on my morning walk. and seeing other people go throughout their lives and maybe what they might be doing in their lives and think about where they're at on their journeys. Like us, there's no doubt about it. I am an overthinker. But when I balance it, it really is in a great way. Like, and I guess you could think it as overthinking, or you could just maybe think of it as you see what's happening, you know? You really just step back and see what's happening in front of you, like the theater of experience that's occurring in front of you, I guess is what I've become really good at seeing. Like, sure, I could sit there and be in peace drinking my coffee and just like listen to my tunes, and that's beautiful. But sometimes I like to sit there and look at the magic that's happening in front of me. Look at these people that walk past and think, wow, like, I wonder what their lives are like. I wonder what highs they've had. I wonder what's in their heart. I wonder like what they're struggling with. I wonder, they might be mean. They might not be nice. Why are they not nice? What's a beautiful memory in their lives? What makes them happy? Looking at the birds. Man, I was sitting having a coffee today, and I was looking at the crows, and I was just thinking the crows were just walking, and then they were just trying to get some chips or something, and then they just got up and flew away into the sky, and I'm like, man, what a flex, right? I'm gonna walk beside you guys, and then I'm gonna fuck out of here and just fly wherever I want. And I think that's kind of like what our souls are like, you know? We can walk with everyone else, but then in any given second, we can choose to fly. And I like flying, guys. I really do. I'm like, that's, I guess, how I would explain my thought process, imagination. I like flying around and taking in as much as I can. So yeah, that's a little bit about my morning walks at the moment. Try and nail that down and be free and feel free. Because, guys, so last 3 months, doing a lot of the business, recovering from my injury, but also picked up some bad habits too, like late night sleeping. There's no doubt about it. I picked up some bad habits. And I think one of my worst habits there for a while was like, I'd be going to bed late on my phone scroll, and then I'd wake up like 11:30, and then I'd wake up, around 11:30, and then start work 15 minutes later, and just in a cycle, like not living, just existing, and feeling like no excitement to get up, like waking up, and I was waking up around 9, then it's like, why would I get up though? I was waking up around 8, my alarm clock, and I was like, but why would I get up? And there's a billion reasons to get up and seize opportunities, but because you're not feeding the soul, your mind's like, oh yeah, just go back to bed. You feel like shit, go back to bed. But when I'm in my flow, like I am right now, when I feel shit, like I felt shit yesterday morning, guys, it's so good. I'm in a great flow right now, like, because I'm waking up, like, going to bed like 11:30, waking up around 8, boom, barely tired in the morning, so that's beautiful. Like, I love energy, I really do. But I was in a bad habit where I was doing that cycle, but now I'm in the habit where I'm going to sleep at 11:30, and if I am on my phone, I think to myself, when I'm scrolling there, I was like, nothing on this phone is more valuable or more entertaining or beautiful than just going to sleep right now and entering my dreams and my subconscious right now, and getting that sleep, that energy for tomorrow. And as long as I remind myself of that, I find myself just putting away my phone and then going to sleep. And what I like to do now these days when I'm going to sleep is like just imagine all the possibilities in life of what I can accomplish, and that from love to like with music to the podcast to the business to like my body and health. And I guess when you start thinking of them things, it gets you excited, and when you wake up in the morning with that excitement, sometimes I get a bit too excited so I can't sleep. That's not good, guys. But so that's what I've been kind of doing at the moment. But I guess habits, addiction, similar. They're, I guess, similar, maybe cousins, habit and addiction. But yeah, today, so that's a little bit, actually, before we get into it, that's just a little bit of where I'm at the moment. I'm in Dublin at the moment, anyone wondering? In Dub City, yeah. I'm in the city, Dub City. Or South accent. I'm in the city, Dublin. You know Dublin City, you know Ireland. Yeah, so I'm in Dublin and have been for the last couple of months. I'm here for the next 2-3 months anyways. So we'll see where that goes. As I said, last couple of months, building the business, trying to get my good habits in check, going for a lot of walks, Drinking a hell of water, keeping my skin clear, baby. Keeping my skin clear. Grew my beard a bit longer too. If anyone wonders there, my beard's a bit longer. So, that's kind of a little bit of a summary. I know it's not. I didn't tell you everything, but like that's a little summary. But I guess where I want to start addiction today, guys, is something that I cut out in the last 3 months. Now I want to put that out there before we get into chatting about addiction and stuff. I'm very grateful that I've never had a real hard addiction or something that's nearly ruined my life. So I just want to put that out there first of all. And to anyone who is going through something right now with an addiction, sending you lots of love, man. All right, guys, just sending you lots of love. Just want you to know you are loved, and I really hope you can make it through your journey if you're dealing with an addiction right now. And I'm cheering for you. Just know I'm cheering for you. I got a little tear in my eye there, but I'm rooting for you, baby. You got this. So anyhow, let me get into addiction. So yeah, as I said, very blessed that I've never had any addictions that would threaten to ruin my life. But something I did cut out, and it was kind of accidental, really, if I'm honest with you. And it definitely was addiction, because I was doing it for about 10 years. But, and some people might not see it as an addiction, but I definitely did in my journey, is caffeine. So basically, I've been drinking coffee. Wow. Shout out my boy Fox who got me on the coffee. I've been drinking coffee every day since I was 16. So I'm 26 now. That's 10 years. So I've been drinking coffee 26 and fresh, baby, though. Come on. Am I right, though? Am I right? I've been drinking coffee for 10 years. And I'd say I drink about 2-3 cups a day. I used to drink about 2-3 cups a day. And I just did it. It just became part of my life. Every day, no matter what, I'd be drinking coffee. And Jesus, when I started drinking coffee, I absolutely loved it. Well, I still love it. I love the taste of coffee. It's so fucking good. Not even gonna lie, the taste of coffee is great. So, I've been drinking coffee, 10 years of my life. And it just became a normal thing. But as it became a normal thing, I didn't realize like how it actually affected me. So it didn't do anything mad to me, like, but I only started to realize, I guess, the last year or so is, I feel super anxious after coffee. And I thought that I got used to it, but I actually hadn't. And I developed some really bad habits with it too. Like, so example, if I wasn't able to work and if I wasn't focused, then I was like, so say I was down on my laptop and I didn't feel I was focusing. And I was like, right, I'll get another cup of coffee. I'll get that coffee out. Like, this will keep me focused. And sure, it did for about 15 minutes. And then I get distracted again and then feel like shit. And what I used to do is just really mess with my body and how I felt as a person. And I only realized, like, I didn't need to do this. Like, I actually didn't need to drink coffee. But anyhow, I had them thoughts a few times, but I've been drinking coffee for the last 10 years, continued, and I'd have them thought processes about it. And of course, I love everything around coffee. Like, I love everything around it. I love, hey guys, let's meet up for a coffee, or you check out like a local new cafe and there's a pretty girl in there. And you're thinking, should I ask for a number? Bro, I'd be falling in love with so many pretty girls in cafes. It's like every cafe I ever go into is always a pretty girl. It's just like guaranteed. I don't know, pretty girls like coffee, man. But anyhow, so yeah. Everything surrounding coffee is just, it is really great. And it's a great thing to be into, to be quite honest with you too, because like you can build such a little like community around it. But anyhow, over the last couple of months really, began to feel like coffee like just made me feel shit. And it was back there in January. Now, when it comes to my year goals, guys, I don't really tend to do the New Year's resolutions anymore because they're a little bit inadequate to me. Like, they just don't really work for me. They never had worked to me, like, if I'm like quite honest about it. So I kind of stopped doing the New Year's resolutions this year. I was like, I'm not going to do that. However, I was like, let me set my month goals. Because while I don't really agree with the New Year's resolutions, because, you know, you set it and you have all the best intentions of fulfilling that. A day goes by, weeks go by, 3 weeks, you're in January, it's going well, February, March, and you're back where you began. So what I did this year instead is just made my goals for my month and what I want to accomplish that month and what I wanted to hit in this big world. So anyways, quitting coffee was not on that. And to be honest, I didn't even visualize myself ever even quitting coffee, because it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it made me feel a little shit, but it wasn't that big of a deal that I would want to quit it or anything. And as I said, everything that comes with coffee is great. Shout out the pretty girls. Anyhow, but then in January, and it was around January 26th, and I went for an old day out for myself, meditating. Brought my journal with me. Was feeling good to be by myself, but also, you know, guys, when you're by yourself, you face yourself. I think that's a gem. When you're by yourself, you face yourself and what you may be thinking deep down inside and what you're really feeling. Like, there's zero distractions. There's only you with you, and you have to confront whatever the person inside is thinking or how they're feeling. I think it's really important you spend a lot of time by yourself and get to know yourself and learn yourself and who you really are underneath the perception and what you present to the world, I guess. So I went for a day out by myself, and guys, to be honest, I'll keep it a buck. So I didn't have a coffee that morning, and went for my day out. I went to Phoenix Park, and I was feeling shit. I won't lie. I was trying to romanticize my beautiful day out by myself and meditate and journal, but I was feeling shit. Like, I was just feeling like, like just like lacking the dopamine, a lot of cortisol. God damn you, cortisol. But anyhow, shout out cortisol. We need it too, I suppose. But I wasn't feeling good, and I went anyways, and I was spending my time by myself and just really thinking like what I'm actually doing, and just day to day, and not ever thinking in terms of life, even though I was doing that too a little bit, but more just day to day and how I'm feeling. And I really felt like shit. But I got to Phoenix Park. I meditated, seen some ducks. That was nice. I seen some squirrels too. That was so beautiful. Yeah, shout out squirrels. I was in Phoenix Park, grounded myself. That was really nice too. And went for a walk on the grass. And just did all the green ticks. Like, just the simple things that make you feel better. And they did. They really did. Sat there by the pond in Phoenix Park, and I thanked the tree. I wouldn't consider myself a tree hugger, but I do like to, say a few words to the trees and like nature and whatnot, because we're all one. That's just like the honest truth. Like, we all come from this planet and we're all one. So I just thank the tree for being cool and giving out its oxygen and taking away the carbon dioxide and whatnot. So just sit there beside the tree and journal what I was going through and how I'm feeling and whatnot. And when I say what I'm going through, it could be great. Could be going through the beautiful journey, or it could be going through shit. Like, it's, when I say going through, I mean, many things, I guess. And I sat there anyways, and was just thinking, listening to nature, and then went and did a bit of charity shopping and came home, and I was wrecked. And I thought to myself, why am I so tired? And I realized, oh wait, I didn't have coffee today. I was like, no worries, I'm not going to have coffee at like 7 o'clock. So I just went to bed. And I woke up the next morning and I was like, will I get a coffee? And I was like, nah, I don't think I will. And then kind of the penny dropped. I was like, why don't I quit coffee? Because I heard Paddy Galloway chatting about before. Shout out Paddy Galloway. And for anyone who knows Paddy Galloway, he's an absolute genius when it comes to YouTube. Formerly ran IRM back in the day and is doing marvelous things in the YouTube space. And also a big rap fan. So shout out you, Paddy. Hope you're doing well, my man. Good guy. Really good guy. So successful too. Man's killing it. So I seen Paddy chatting about quitting caffeine before, I think. And he'd mentioned it to my friend Dylan. And I remember Dylan trying it before. I was thinking to myself, I've heard so many people chat about how caffeine affects your focus so much, and like, it's something I struggle with, guys. And I always have struggled with my focus. Like, I don't think I'm ADHD or any of that crack, but it's something I've always struggled with, is my focus. So I thought to myself, why not try it? Why not try cutting out caffeine and see how that goes? So that's what I did. And I just kept doing it, guys. I was like 1 week turning to 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I started getting decaf lattes instead. Not gonna lie, definitely felt like a bit of a twat asking, sorry, do you guys do decaf lattes? You know them people who go in a cafe and it's like, sorry Barbara, can I get a 2-shot vanilla latte with no foam, no milk or no coffee with a little bit of ice inside, please, thank you. That's what I meant like. But anyhow, started getting decaf lattes because I still love coffee and the coffee shops and the cool people you see. And that's what I did. And that's what I've been doing for the last, 6-7 weeks maybe. Maybe coming up in 2 months. No, it is coming up in 2 months soon. And the effects on my energy. Wow. Now guys, on my focus. The first couple of weeks, I was wrecked. I was just so tired. I didn't get any of the headaches that you hear from some people when they quit caffeine. Now, I was drinking tea. But tea for me is like, I don't get any caffeine hit from tea. Pardon me. So, I was drinking tea, but cut out caffeine. No Monster. Sorry, guys, I'm burping. And my energy levels were just gone. I was just so tired all the time. And that happened for about 3 weeks. I felt the tiredness. But then the tiredness started to go. And since then, it's really been a game changer. Like, no caffeine compounded by my reading has just accelerated my focus and energy. And I love energy, guys. I love being energetic. I love eating my bananas, my water, good food, getting into you, grasping them opportunities in life and feeling great. And, damn, that's been a big changer for me. So, no caffeine. Huge progress with my focus, and my energy is back. And probably more because that with my sleep, I'm getting great sleep right now. As I said, I'm going to sleep around 12 and I'm waking up around 8, 7. And I don't feel tired when I wake up. Like, isn't it? It's so nice to wake up not feeling wrecked. And get out of bed not feeling wrecked. And damn, so that's been a biggie right there. Now, so caffeine. Do I see myself going back to caffeine? Not really. I don't see there's any reason to. I think it's something that, like, if I was trying to get a project done, I was like, I might drink a cup of coffee if I really need to get through it. Like, it's not like I'll never drink coffee again, but I just don't see a reason to go back to it. Caffeine, because I drink my decaf lattes and decaf flat whites. So I just don't see a reason to go back to it. That may change. Life is about change. But as it stands, I'm pretty happy with it. So that's no caffeine anymore. That's my caffeine. Another addiction is smoking. And I've chatted about my smoking. Yeah, I've chatted about my smoking before. And it's a toughie. So I guess my first memory of cigarettes would be family, like, relation smoking. And that's disgusting, I guess, in my mind. So I would have grew up seeing that. And then when you get in your teenagers, like, obviously I've chatted a little bit about smoking before, but I'll try to chat a little bit more in depth this time around, and cigarettes and whatnot. So obviously in teenage years, start smoking that sticky, icky. Am I right? Ooh. Shout out Snoopy Dogg. Shout out Mr. Wiz Khalifa. Shout out to anyone building a great marijuana business out there. It's a very lucrative business to be in. Shout out Burner. He's killing it. So anyway, when I started getting into the Zaza in my teenage years, you obviously put a little bit of tobacco, which they don't do in America. But in Europe, you put a little bit of that tobacco in and makes it last longer, and it gives you a little bit of the high, I guess, added the nicotine. So that's when I started smoking tobacco. And I used to get like the little tobacco boxes, the little yellow ones, amber leaf boxes. They're like $5 at the time. And I just get it for the spliffs. I would never smoke the tobacco. So, example, if I ran out of the Zaza, I'd never smoke the tobacco if there was tobacco left. I just leave it there. I was like, why would I smoke a rollie? Like, in my mind, I was like, that just makes no sense. So as the years went past, and I remember in school, there used to be this corner in our school, and basically if you smoked cigarettes, rollies, or the old spliffs, or if you maybe did a few other things, unfortunately so, you go down to this corner, and this corner had like a real kind of bad reputation. And it wasn't that the kids down there were, well, a few of them were bad, yeah, unfortunately so. But a lot of them were just normal kids who just either smoking cigarettes. But it was more of what the corner represented and what path it may bring you down is kind of the reputation I think it had. Because there was a lot of cool people down there, like just a lot of just genuine like kids and normal kids. But then there was a lot of other kids who were taking different paths. And I guess you were who you were, or you are who you surround yourself with. And so there was a reputation of this corner. And again, just I'd have no reason in school to go down there. It's like, why would I smoke cigarettes? Why would I smoke weed in school? Even though that would have been kind of funny. Why would I do any drugs or anything down there? That just makes no sense to me. And I remember even, I was in Leaving Cert at the time, and our vice principal came up to me and she said, "Oh, Martin, would you mind having a quiet word with," we'll call him Chris. He's just been started going down the corner and I don't want him to take like the wrong path. Would you just have a word with him? So I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, wow. So I remember chatting to Chris. I took him to the side. I was like, man, what are you doing down there? I was like, why, like, what is it that's bringing you down there? Are you just smoking cigarettes or are you doing more or whatever? And he's like, oh man, I'm just dying for a rollie. So I was like, all right. He seems like, I hope he's going to be all good. And he did turn out good. Shout out Chris, man. His real name's not Chris, but shout out him. Anyways. Good dude. Yeah, I think he's on holiday at the moment. He's still in friends on Snapchat. But yeah, so that was the corner and cigarettes and whatnot. And the corner is going to be very important as I go through this podcast, and I kind of fill you in, I guess, more as we go through it. But anyhow, so that's with smoking. Never smoked cigarettes and never smoked weed in school. Kept smoking weed throughout my teenage years, but was always wary in the back of my head about weed and Zaza and whatnot, because I was always wary. I never wanted to take that wrong path. There's nothing wrong with the Zaza. Wouldn't recommend kids smoke Zaza. No, Jesus. Yeah, if you know what it is, know how to treat it, and know how to like be responsible, then yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with the Zaza. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't know how to be responsible and don't know how to treat it. And I guess that can have an impact. So when I was smoking weed in my teenage years, I was always wary of not going further. Because unfortunately, and I don't know if this is for other cases in other countries, but when people call weed a gateway drug, I kind of look at it as people that you may get introduced to sometime. Because like the Zaza is such like a peaceful thing, but sometimes it's when people start on that and then go to another drug and then introduce their friends to the other drug. So I guess maybe I kind of viewed it like that. And plus two, when you're a teenager and smoking and whatnot, I remember everyone just starting rumors and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, you hear about Martin and the lads that were smoking weed and stuff, which is funny. Like, but always in the back of my head, I was always wary. Even when we used to enjoy weed and whatnot when we were teenagers, I was always wary. I don't want to play with this because I'm a bit scared of where it might lead me. I was like, I might get sick of it and want something stronger. Because you got to ask yourself, why are you doing it? Now, why was I doing it? I was doing it because one of my favorite rappers is doing it. And that's just the honest truth. That is the honest truth. One of my favorite rappers, and he chatted about it in his music, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. So I wanted to be like him, and that's why I started. Now, when I started, the reasons may have changed, you see, but it was a positive place. So I guess, yeah, you got to ask yourself, why are you doing it? And when you start smoking or doing other stuff, so why are you doing it? And as I started smoking the ganja, I've called it so many different names in the space of this podcast. It wasn't just to be like my favorite rapper anymore. It was to like make things better. And it wasn't that I was super sad or anything, but it just made everything better. And I was like, well, if it makes my life better, then why don't I just do it? And then I'd say the most, I remember one summer particularly, and I wasn't doing music, and I was just smoking like every second, third day and doing nothing else. And then that's when I realized, I was like, oh wow, I think this could be starting to like maybe take a hold on me. And it was at such a small scale that for someone else that would be like, man, you weren't even smoking that much. But it goes down to the person, and I felt I was starting to get too fond of it and what it was doing to me. Because, as I said, if you're responsible with the ganja, it's a happy time. Now and again, with your friends, chill. Maybe like your body's in pain. You can get special type of, like, it's, the possibilities are endless, especially in countries where it's legal. Like, it's just next level of the great things that can be done. But in countries where it's illegal and you don't know who the fuck you're getting off and what type of weed you're getting off and what's sprayed on the weed. Like, come on, guys. So anyhow, I kind of stopped then in like, TY. So I would have been 17 when I kind of stopped smoking. And I kind of smoke now and again. And to be honest too, it was a lot for music because I was getting lazy and stuff from weed. So I stopped smoking weed. And then, unfortunately, I don't know if I had chatted about my mental breakdown before that I had when I was like 18, but in leaving cert, I wasn't having a good time. Like, I was just like in a real dark place and wasn't sure what was happening. It was like October 2015, and one of my friends was like, do you want to come smoke? And I was like, I knew I shouldn't, but I went anyways. And I just had a horrible experience, man. Just had a horrible experience. Just in terms of like, not psychosis or anything, but fucking hell. It was just bad. It just wasn't healthy. So that happened, and after that, then my relationship with weed changed forever, where I just never really went near it. And that continued then for the years ahead, in terms of weed and whatnot. But then, when I got to Dublin when I was like 18, 19, I started smoking a little. Because I was working in the pub with all the rollies, and the only way to get a break is you went out and had a rollie. And that's where I started smoking cigarettes and whatnot. And guys, since then, it's been like an on and off relationship with smoking. Because I was saying to my friend Josh, it's like, I'll quit like rollies or cigarettes and I won't smoke or even have the urge. But then if I'm going through a shit week, I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'm just going to smoke. And again, boom, and it comes back once again. And it's been like that for 6 years, 7 years maybe, where I had this on and off relationship with like smoking. And it's a tough one to hit, like, because it's that hit, it's that nicotine, it's that like inhale that gets you. And the price of fucking cigarettes. And I guess just when you feel shit, you want something to match how you feel. And like, you know, when you're smoking a rollie and you're at the end of it and it's nasty, but you're like, yeah, fuck, let's smoke it anyways. And how you feel then after. Like, because like smoking's nice for about the first 4 takes. And then after that, it's not. So that's been an ongoing battle for the last 5 or 6 years, is smoking. And I think one of my worst stages was when I was living in Spain, and it was about 6 weeks I was smoking. And I was smoking 4 or 5 rollies a day, and it was just tough. And again, it was just stress. It was a distraction. Like, it wasn't like I was super healthy, doing great things every day to benefit me and was still smoking. Like, it was because I was stressed. And that's my link to smoking. As soon as I get super stressed, I start smoking. And that's been like that. And especially it's been tough, guys, with not doing the jogging for the last while. And because I haven't been jogging, which is such a big stress reliever in my life, I have like gone through 2 weeks smoking a lot more. But again, I will figure it out. It's definitely something I don't want to continue after this year. Like, I feel like I'm not in a hurry where I've made the decision in myself where like, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. And you have to do that. Like when you're quitting something, something really negative. I don't want to be condescending here and saying like, I might drink coffee again. But what I'm learned from people, if you want to quit something that's really negative for your life, you just have to say it, right, no more. So that's what I've learned from being around other people and whatnot. So I see myself doing that maybe towards the end of this year and finally making that decision and sticking to it and going forth, because I haven't, in my mind of like, I haven't fully quit, so that's kind of my relationship with smoking and where it's at and going forth. And also, guys, because I'm an athlete, I consider myself an amateur athlete. Not good for the lungs. And just what comes with it. Like, a lot of people always chat about cigarettes and smoking. Now, and like how it has effects, like cause cancer and stuff, but also heart disease. Like major impact on heart disease. So my relationship with smoking, it's not terrible, but it definitely needs to maybe end, I guess, sometime this year. But I guess I am very lucky that I don't do the vapes. And again, no judgment. Guys, no judgment. If you do vapes, you do vapes. If you smoke, whatever. But I fucking hate the vapes. Oh, guys. Oh. The vapes in my mind are like smoking's a claw. All forms of smoking's a claw. But it's like, it's 24/7 with the vapes, I think. It's just like, with smoking, they're two bad things. Like they're two evils, but like one's not better, one's not worse. But I guess with smoking, my if you were to comparison would be, I have to go outside. So for them, 4 rollies or 5 or whatever, you have to go outside. There's some sort of a break. But and they did this intentionally with the vapes. They just have you 24/7. It's like you can vape anywhere really. Just have you 24/7. It's like a claw. And man, I've seen it, because it happened when we were in school is when they really took off. And then the last couple of years, it's just been non-stop with the vapes, and they're so hard to quit. Like, here's a random one for you, but what's his name? The dude Alex from Versatile, he put up on a story about quitting vapes and how tough it was and being like 100 days, and he was so proud of himself. And damn right, because quitting vapes is no easy measure, like whatsoever. I have a lot of friends that be fan of the vapes and whatnot, and they're so expensive. Fucking hell. But yeah, man, the vapes and how they're marketed is just crazy. Like intentionally with the colors and making them so welcoming and nice and friendly. And it's mad now seeing kids vape too. Like, obviously they could be smoking too, so it's smoking's no better, but seeing so many kids, it's like I've seen so many people who would never smoke, but all of a sudden become vapors, which is a crazy thing to watch. So it's a tough one. And if you do vape yourself, I hope you're able to get yourself to stop at some point and whatnot. But there's no doubt about it. It's a hard thing to get off. It's a hard thing. Like, I think I know all the people I may know that vape. There's very few that are like, I've just stopped. So if you're vaping and trying to quit, wish you the best, guys, and hope you can do and whatnot for your body and how you feel. And yeah, it's not an easy one. Not an easy one. So yeah, that's kind of my relationship with smoking, and kind of where I want to bring that is next up, the drink. Dun, dun, dun. I'll add some noises there, guys. How are we doing for time at the moment? Okay, like 45 minutes in. This might be a long one. So yeah, drink. Wow. So yeah, the relationship with alcohol in Ireland is it's quite the relationship, isn't it? I guess so. Would have started drinking, would have started drinking like 14, 15. Like I remember my first time ever drinking, getting drunk really, was in a local pub, and it was St. Patrick's Day, and I got absolutely fucked. I was about 15. I was 15, and I had about 10 pints. 15, like bonkers. Had about 10 pints, and I don't know if it was the same time or different time, but there was a hand dryer in the toilet, and I slipped and I knocked the hand dryer right off the wall. So so they told me. I'm pretty sure I didn't do it. To this day, I actually have no recollection. But yeah, they said I did do it, and I was an easy target to blame. So yeah, I knocked that right off the wall and was so drunk. So that was the first time when I was 15. So too young, especially just for your body. And I had 10 pints, and I ended up getting so sick. I got so sick everywhere after them 10 pints. And that was the first time. And that just started to kind of knock the domino effect of drinking, I guess. Start going to like teenage discos when you're in Ireland, and it's just normal. It's like normal to get a naggin of vodka. Why is it normal? I don't know. But it's normal. It's a normality for the culture. And you get a naggin or whatever, and you get drunk on the bus to a disco or something, and to be honest, great memories for the most part. Sometimes you get too sick, but then I started doing that, and unfortunately I knew a lot of people with drinking problems, so I seen that firsthand what that was like. And at that age, instead of realizing that and steering myself away from it, I did the opposite. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do the same to not think about that anymore. Because it did have an impact on me. I won't go into detail, but people that I knew close. So anyhow, I started kind of binge drinking at like a party. I was a dick at house parties and stuff, and I started fucking binge drinking, and wow, like just getting polluted, like just to the point like hurting myself and throwing up everywhere on myself. And the worst to this day, the worst drunk I ever got, and the worst hungover, I slept for 2 days after it, was when I was 16. So that's perspective. Like, I've gone through the last 10 years of my life, and that's the worst one. And I just didn't know limits. Like, just didn't know any limits. And was doing that over and over. Not like frequently, but like every like month or so. And I know that's not too frequent. But again, I was just doing it because I didn't want to deal with like other stuff and whatnot. And I guess that is the thing with addiction a lot of the time. Like, you just don't want to deal with something, and it's too hard to deal with something inside. So you find some sort of distraction, whatever that distraction may be. And that's what I was doing. I was using drink as a distraction. So I did that again throughout my teenage years with drink. And then I just stopped drinking. I just stopped. And I was like, nope, this ain't happening to me. And again, guys, music being the reason. God, music is like my guardian angel. It really is. Shout out the G.O.D. and shout out music. And I just didn't want that to have an effect, so I stopped. And since then, my relationship with drink, it's improved, but It's a funny one because I've gone years without drinking and had a great time. But I have found myself over the last year or so just, fuck it, yeah, I'll have a few pints with the lads or whatever. And I guess my perception of drink has changed in a good way, but I don't know if I like still getting drunk. Because sometimes, I know this happens for other people, but sometimes in my mind, if I'm not feeling my whole self when we're going out somewhere, the thought does enter my mind. I was like, oh, wait till I just drink one or two and then I'll be flowing. And it's not a nice thought. I don't like that thought. I don't like that entering my mental, my sphere, my dome. Because I am my full self when I'm not drinking. But that has entered my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had some good times drinking. You know what I'm saying? All right, then. Yeah, I've had great memories. Because for the most part, I always remember, and I don't get too drunk now whenever I drink. Like, I might like have a couple of pints. And it's funny because I've never really ventured outside pints, you know? Maybe because like everything else is so expensive, or I don't know. I just never like ventured to cocktails and wine. Had my first glass of red wine in Venice. Wow, that was class. That was marvelous. But never really ventured outside of pints. It was funny. I went out after this gig. Shout out Shannon. She works in bar in Dublin. And I went into her pub or bar, whatever. And I was chatting to her and I was like, what offers do you have? She was like, well, we have this great deal for cocktails, 2 for €15. And I said, great, I'll have a pint of Heineken, please. Oh, I was so happy with that joke. Oh my God. I smiled and giggled. So my relationship has definitely improved with alcohol. And, I've had friends and I've seen what alcohol can do to somebody. And I used to try to intervene with one of my friends. And, I'm not going to say it wasn't my place because I loved him and always wanted the best for him. But I just realized there wasn't a lot that I was going to be able to do to help him stop, unfortunately. And I think I may have had a little bit of a savior complex for a while. And guys, I always say, the Ocean Flight 111 heading straight to full potential with 0 delays. I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything. But I have picked up some gems in life, and I'm just trying to make sure everyone's going in the right direction. I don't know if you're going to be able to go in the right direction. I hope you can. I believe you can. But I can't talk you through the whole direction. I'm just like, I see the right direction on the path. I'm like, guys, I feel like that's the way to go. And then you just gotta make it up yourself. What is your way to go? And I just come in and let's give him a name, I guess. We'll call him Michael. Bruh, it's mad when you're telling stories, making up all the names. But anyways, Michael, great dude, incredible dude. But just used to drink too much. I knew he'd drink too much. And still does drink too much. And I love him to bits, but I used to get so mad at him. I was like, man, you have all these beautiful gifts. Like, this is not the way. And I try, maybe show him, be there for him. But it just never worked. And we're not that close of friends anymore either, unfortunately. I still keep the relationship going because I like to nurture special relationships. So I still keep in touch and make sure he's Gucci. But I'm not sure what his relationship with drink is now. I know he still drinks, but it's just because I've seen it happen and I know where it goes. And it's hard to see something self-destruct when you know what the explosion looks like and you just can't do anything, you know? Yeah. That hurts, man. I think, and yeah. I guess you can't like stop someone from doing something, from hurting themselves. Like you can try to help, and like when you confront someone and you look at them and you love them so much, and all you want to do is for them to stop, like they won't stop because they're going through stuff, and they don't know how to stop. Yeah, deep shit, man. Deep shit. I guess everyone kind of knows somebody that has an addiction that's hurting them. Yeah. I know I'm supposed to say more here, but it just has me thinking and whatnot. I don't know. I got a little bit teary there, just thinking about like people I love and people who've recovered too, because that's a magical thing. Watching someone that was in the depths and recovered, and watching people not recover and unfortunately not be here anymore, which is, it's a toughie. It really is a toughie, man. I guess, you know, when you talk about addiction and whatnot, and I've seen a lot of close people go through it, but also my hero, Malcolm, and fortunately what addiction did to him and whatnot, and how it takes, like, you are not your addiction, I think, is a really powerful thing that they try to teach. You are not the addiction, and you're like a person that's just dealing with an addiction or dealing with things. You are not the addiction. But that's a toughie. That is a toughie. And I'm not educated enough or knowledgeable enough on the topic of addiction to understand it fully, I guess. There's beautiful, smart, educated people, doctors and psychologists and health people that be better maybe at guiding people just through some, but I do know it's not being able to feel love, and love. I know love has to be a big one of addiction, and maybe love for yourself or not feeling love. You know? That has to be a big one. So yeah. I feel like my mind was talking there, but I wasn't. But if you're listening to this, maybe you kind of went to a similar place that I went to there, in terms of like just the emotion that's connected to that, I guess. So yeah, it's a toughie, and living with someone with an addiction is it's a hard thing, because you see someone you love and they're just hurting themselves. Like they're punching themselves over and over, and you just want them to stop, you know? But they can't stop. I suppose that's the way I would put it. It feels like sometimes addiction is seeing someone you love punch themselves over and over and want them to stop, but they can't stop hurting themselves because they're hurt. Yeah. Therapy session. Martin, you don't gotta put a joke after all the deep stuff. Hey, I know I don't gotta put a joke, but I'm a funny guy. Ooh, our connection's a little bit funny. Are we all good? Are we all good? Are we all good? I think so. Yeah, we just went a bit funny there with our connection for a second. It's all right, guys. How are we doing? We're on about the hour mark. Yeah, it's been, man, therapeutic chatting about all this stuff, because oh, also, I don't know if, okay, slow down. Let's take a bit by bit. Let's finish our thought on addiction and lead that into the next, I guess. So, yeah, just love, man. Love and being there for people, and if you can. And if you can't, that's fair enough too, because it's a lot to be there for someone who has an addiction. But if you can, and you love the person, I'm cheering for you. I really am. I'm cheering for you. Because it can happen. They can make it out the other side. And I've seen that. I'm so blessed to see that. I've seen it at horrible stages of what it can do to someone, but I also see the sunshine of what happens when someone quits. And guys, it's worth it. The sunshine is so good. It's magnificent to see. And it's possible. It's not impossible. It is possible. Fucking know for that for a fact. It's possible. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the miracle. So yeah, I've seen it. So that's alcohol, and I guess, again, alcohol isn't bad. Smoking isn't the worst thing in the world, and some drugs aren't the worst thing in the world, but it's your relationship and why you're doing it. It's your relationship and why you're doing it. So yeah, and I guess where I was going with that is thinking about my addictions or whatever, and again, from smoking and also my phone. I know I've chatted about it before, but I feel like some reoccurring topics are important because they are part of my life and my journey, and that's why they're reoccurring. Trying to really manage the phone because I work on my phone. I have 3 phones at the moment, guys. I have 3 iPhones, which flex. Pardon me. I have 3 iPhones, and I spend all my time working on my phone because we run many accounts and whatnot, and like social media accounts. So I'm spending a lot of time on my phone, and then when I go to finish work, I'm spending more time on my phone. So learning that and trying to manage that one, because it really just sucks so much life out of you. The phone, and that's a toughie I'm still working on. I can figure out smoking, I can quit caffeine, but the phone, I'm still figuring that one out, guys. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. I've tried the black and white on my screen. I've tried putting it outside the room. I've tried many things, but I just haven't managed that one yet. So that's an ongoing battle. I will figure it out, just like I figure nearly everything out in my own life. At some point, so I will figure it out. But yeah, it's taking a while. Alrighty then. So yeah, just figuring that one out, I guess. And I was going to bring that then into therapy, of chatting about like addiction and whatnot, because I chatted about that in therapy before, and how because I guess your worst fear is when you see someone you love have an addiction, your fear is that it'll come back. Your fear is that it'll return. I've definitely dealt with that thought process. So I chatted about that in therapy before, and how to deal with that, and how to focus on the good things, and how then things are out of your control. There's a really great movie too, guys. I think that sums up addiction really well. It sums up an aspect, because I know it's a sensitive subject. It sums up an aspect of addiction, because it's such a broad thing, and such a heavy. That's heavy, doc. It's such a big thing, and vast comes to mind as the word. But Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher's wife, has a great movie. I can't remember the name of it. I might make it pop up on the screen here for anybody. But she is a great movie. And in the movie, the concept or the plot of it, she's a drug addict, and she's a kid, and she's trying to get sober and stuff. And it's a great movie. It's a lot happens in it, but it's a great watch. It really is. I highly recommend it to maybe get a grasp if you've never seen a loved one, or never had a friend, or seen someone suffer, or if you maybe don't understand addiction, because that's totally fair too. And you can't get mad at somebody who doesn't understand addiction, because they just haven't been educated or shown what it is, or the realities of it, And I think that's important. I think I've been becoming better at that, not getting mad at someone because they just don't understand something and they disregard it. Even when they disregard it, when someone disregards something, oh, that's not even a big thing, and you're in your mind how don't you see that? How could you even call it not a big thing? I think if you can, if I'm trying to learn just to remain calm, and either maybe show them that it is a real thing, explain to them, or maybe give them the benefit that okay, they just don't understand yet. They just haven't figured it. They just haven't been shown it, or educated on it, should I say. So I've been trying to work on that one. But yeah, as I was saying, chatted about that in therapy, about seeing someone with addiction and hoping that they don't return to that. And yeah, I've been doing therapy again. Actually, just want to finish it just before I kind of go into therapy and kind of finish it. I just want to chat about if you are going through something, or if you are struggling with something, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is light, and it feels good. It really does, you know. It feels good. It's the light at the end of the tunnel is the laughter you had as a kid. So if you're dealing with something and you don't think there's a light at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel is the love and laughter you had as a kid. And if you didn't feel that as a kid, it feels good, and it's sitting there for you. It really is. It's sitting there somewhere out there, and it's sitting there, and you can get there. You really can. I really truly believe that. So it feels good too, and you deserve it. You really do deserve it. You do deserve it. I hope you remind yourself you deserve it. Yeah. So that's my thoughts there on addiction and my experiences with it and whatnot. And yeah, it's a big one. There's no doubt about it, guys. But that's what we do here at the One Step at a Time podcast. We chat about big things and we make them basic, I guess, and simplistic, and try to just break them down to their core, what they are and whatnot. And yeah, that's my thoughts on addiction and how I view it at the moment. And I definitely want to become more educated, and I'm definitely going to get some people on here that have had their own battles and whatnot over the next couple of weeks and chat about their journey with it. So I hope you've enjoyed me chatting about this concept. I'm going to just fill in a few more bits here now before I bounce. But yeah, that's that, I guess. Been doing therapy the last back to therapy, which is great. You know why I think therapy is great for me? Like, it's just, you know, I have some big things I need to figure out, but I also like just venting, I think, you know, I was like, just getting it out of my system. And this is why the podcast is so handy. But you know, guys, I can only vent so much on here. And as I grow more, I guess the more vulnerable I become and the more I let you in. But you know, we all have certain walls and whatnot. Everybody has them. And I've knocked down a good few, but I've a good few to go. So I think it's just the venting. I think it's just getting it out of my system that's so beneficial, if I'm quite honest with you. As well as like knocking down them walls of deep stuff and trauma with a capital T. Alrighty then. So yeah, been doing therapy and what other life stuff. Been working this podcast, guys, and trying to push it out and really trying to make it work. Because I believe it can. I believe with your guys' help, it really can make it work. Because we got a good thing going here. And you know we can do it. Come on. Go on, the boys. Go on. When I say come on, the boys, I just mean like everybody. Go on. Anyway. So I've been pushing the podcast. Obviously, you've been seeing more content. I'm going to, for anyone who reached the end of this, it's probably a good time to say it. I'm going doing a platform where I post all my podcasts and all my content and all my music like 2-3 weeks in advance before I release it. And like a subscription service. You guys might have seen like something similar to like OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Or like Patreon or any of them kind of platforms. And basically just how I can like turn this into like something I could maybe make a living off and get better guests and do a live. Because if I can start kind of being able to bring in some money off like all my music, my content, my podcast, I can put that money back in then to like getting new equipment and maybe getting like super big guests on, or flying places, maybe do podcasts with the guests or things like that, and putting that back into my music to push it out more. So I'm going to be launching that over the next couple of weeks, and I'll fill you in on what's coming with that. But yeah, I'm super excited about it because I make so much content and I'm so passionate about the message that I'm spreading and the music. And a girl asked me, like, am I worried that like fans of my podcast or anybody that listens, you guys won't like my music? And I was like, well, I kind of view it as like, you're kind of like me. Like if you like my podcast, I feel like you'll just like my music because it's a piece of me. And you know how Like everything I chat about the podcast, my music is a piece. Sometimes like, I know sometimes you don't hear like the massive positive message in my music, but just how I chat about other stuff in my life, music is just a piece. It's 3 minutes that I'm able to like put my energy into. It's just a piece of me. So I think everything makes sense. I think as a whole, the music makes sense. The podcast, my acting that I'll be doing more of. Because guys, I love acting. I love acting. And guys, if you have a dream and you've wanted to do something, fucking do it. We're out here. It's GTA without the criminal activity. You can do what you want. You really can. Like, I was in Starbucks there, and I just put my legs up in the seat, and some guys looked at me, and I was like, what are you looking at in my head? I was like, you can do what you want out here. you want to become a pilot? You can do that. You want to play golf? You might not become fucking majors, but you can do that. So, like, go fucking do it, guys. Like, you got your valuable time here on this planet. No one else's opinion matters. Nobody. They don't. Nobody. The friend that doesn't like you, the friend that does like you, your mother, your father, your cousin, the fucking annoying people you went to school with, they don't matter when it comes to your dream. It doesn't matter. Because they're trying to either do theirs or too scared to do theirs. So just do it. Go do it. Be free within your soul. Feel the happiness. You wanted to do it. You can. You can. It might take a while to get great at it, but you can do it. So, fuck yeah, go do it. If you need some advice, listen to that one step of the podcast. Okay. Cheers. Shout out my boy Nathan Sheridan. Why? Because he's Nathan Sheridan. Nathan doesn't listen to any of my podcasts. And any of you guys know my best friend's Nathan. He just doesn't listen to podcasts. He hasn't listened to a podcast. He didn't even listen to his own podcast. But again, would you listen to your own podcast? I listened. Guys, I'm gonna let you know a secret here. I might listen to one or two of my own podcasts. It's because I have to edit them. That's the reason. I have to edit them. So I have to listen to them. But yeah, that's just some random stuff there for the end. But as I said, building the platform, and I'm going to be launching that over the next couple of weeks. Keep the content going. Kind of like welcome to the Ocean Show, essentially. Like just have content and like my TV show running 24/7. So like maybe if you're like you drop in, maybe you watch every day, and sometimes maybe you might like just only watch on Saturdays, but the TV show is running, and whenever you want to like catch up, it's going to be all there. And that's the way I kind of view it. I kind of view building out Martinocean as like my own TV show, because I always wanted to be on TV, and I will be on. I'm not sure when I'm going to be on TV next. Have I ever been on TV? I don't think I've done a lot of stuff, but I don't think I've ever actually been on TV. Maybe I have, and I can't remember. I feel like I might have been once. Shout out my friend Paige, who was in Fair City. Flex. Also, man, the Fair City is still running. But yeah, shout out Paige, who was in Fair City. That's so funny. That's so lit. That's all for me though, guys. As I said, as I always say, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a great day. I don't hope you have a good day. I hope you have a great day. Wishing you lots of love, lots of good energy wherever you're listening to this. Maybe you're listening to it in Zimbabwe. Maybe you're listening to this in Louth. Maybe you're listening to this in South Antarctica on a mission crossing the world. I don't know. Maybe. The opportunities are limitless. Limitless, I say. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Go on, have a lovely day. Lots of good energy. Don't have a good day. Have a great day. This has been the Ocean Flight 111, heading straight to full potential with zero delays. And it's been another episode of One Step at a Time. Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah, it goes late nights on the road. Yeah, that's just how it goes. Yeah, that's just how it goes these days. I'ma try my best to make this light, but if I don't wake up tomorrow, then